One of the surest signs for me when I was coming out of my burnout was that I finally started having energy to do things that I enjoyed, that I liked. Started being able to have hobbies again, not just, reading on the couch because that was a hobby and that was restorative, but being able to put energy toward things that felt good. And this year, I'm so excited because I finally, after 2 years of wanting to do it, I have the energy to do a garden. And so I've been reading books about gardening and watching YouTubes and just loving not only learning about working with the earth and growing my own food, but like how revolutionary it is in our capitalistic society to be able to be self-sufficient. And it is kind of revolutionary that we unplug a little bit from the system through growing our own food and cooking our own food and things. So today I just kind of wanted to show you what I've been up to. So let's take a look at the garden that I've been putting together. So I'm really fortunate. We're really fortunate. We have this big backyard. And look at this. I put in two 8x14 garden beds. So I marked them off and I used a shovel and a hoe to just get the top layer off. And then my husband, we borrowed this ancient rototiller from our neighbor, and he rototilled the soil really well for me. And then, I don't know if you can see it in the back corner, it's on the other side of the trampoline. It's like that little black thing. It's our compost. And we've just been stirring it. It's a one-stage compost. Technically, I guess you should have two, but we had compost that was probably 80-90% done, and he got in there and then he rototilled all the compost in, which was awesome. And then I went back in. Through renovating this old 100-year-old house, he's been pulling out all kinds of bricks, and we've got flagstones and stuff. Actually, I can't see it, but our whole back corner there is all kinds of flagstones and bricks that he's salvaged while working on it. And so I laid all of these bricks at the end of last week, and then we had a couple days of rain, and so that was perfect for this to get all settled in. And it's a few days before Mother's Day. The weather's going to be gorgeous. We're in Colorado. So next up will be chopping up the soil so it's a little bit more fine, and then planting. Last weekend, I rode the big bike with my kids it was a starter barter, and so it was a bunch of like starter plants from local farmer type people or gardeners, and they're just, $1 or $2 or $5. And so ended up with 7 types of tomatoes, 3 types of peppers, an eggplant, a zucchini, basil, kale, probably a few other things. Oh, look how cute this chamomile is. Have you ever seen anything cuter? Oh my gosh, I can't wait for that to get bigger and make some tea with it. And then the weekend before, I'd gone to a medicinal herb garden class, and she gave us a bunch of seeds. So this is our attempt at growing some seeds. They're taking a little bit to come out, but just reusing like plastic containers, or our grapes come in those clamshells, so we've been reusing them. And then I learned how to propagate green onion. So check this out. So you put them in the toilet paper rolls just to keep them shaded a little bit, so you get the nice white bits. But literally the bottom of the white part of your green onions, you can just put them back in the soil and they'll keep growing, which is really exciting. And then I've got a couple more. This one's not really popping out. I think this is supposed to be my lemon balm, the one I want the most. But if you can see this one, look, we got our first little guy. So that's exciting. And so, yeah, gonna see how this all turns out. Feeling pretty excited about it. And then just to show you what else we've been doing, there's a few more propagating ones. There's a really fun book that I got called Grow Your Groceries. And it's all about propagating food from the food you're already getting at the grocery store. So here we've got, I'm gonna propagate some celery. This is some different types of romaine lettuce. This is a romaine lettuce we already started. This one's so excited to get into the soil. Look at that though, it just grows right out of the center. And then here I'm propagating some garlic. So already getting a couple of the green coming out, and then you just basically put the bottom in water. I don't know if you can see that in the sun, but they're all plump. And then I'd mentioned I took the big bike with the kids to the starter barter, but this is the big bike. It's got a motor on it. My husband's been building it. This is like a third basket. We've been growing our family with it. So at first it was for my daughter. We had the base of the car seat click in and he'd ride around with her. And then she went to like a fully reinforced seat. And then our son got in the click in and then he went in the seat and she was in the bench. And then now they sit on the same bench. But she rides the bike now. And then just to round out my window, I've got some sun tea happening, which is really fun. And then earlier, my husband had built me this. It's just an old door, and these are the south-facing windows. But you can see it doesn't really, even with the blinds fully up, just the way the angle is, not that much sunlight was coming in for our little plants. But I love that he wanted to help me, support me, get my planters started. So yeah, I'm gonna just keep posting on how things go. I might try my hand at one of those speed lapse videos later when I get into tilling the soil and planting everything and seeing what that looks like. I've actually been working with ChatGPT to figure out how to plant because it is my first time. So I just put in all the starters that I have and all the seeds that I have. And got advice what to do, and it's been very helpful, and I'm just really excited to get it started. So like and follow if you want to see how adventures in gardening post burnout goes for me. Hope you're having a good day.